Hello, Spectre here, and well, I said I'd do this, and it's very important that I do this, so here is a breakdown of the sniper core, maintenance, and troubleshooting. So, for this, you will obviously need your sniper core, you will need a pick, something fairly sharp, but something that's not going to mark or damage O-rings. You will need some lubricant, probably silicone lube because these are all NBR seals, and you'll need as close to 100 center points as possible. You might need some Teflon tape, but no guarantees. And you'll need a set of circlip pliers, I recommend, but anything that is two-piece pliers that are long and thin enough to actually open up that. So let's start from the outside and work our way in. So on the outside, you have your receiver and your main O-ring, your bolt O-ring. So you want a fairly tactile seal on this, but basically it can sort of be held by its own weight, but also be very easily removed. If that's not the case, you'll want to take your pick and remove your O-ring, like so. And you'll want to put some Teflon tape underneath that O-ring. Now, I've gone and removed the O-ring anyway, even though I don't need to do this for mine, because you will need to remove the O-ring for the next part. We're going to take it apart. So, let's take it out, and just, it should be a fairly easy twist unscrew. Don't worry if the bolt starts going in, the spring is fairly strong, and you definitely actually want the spring to extend like that, even once it's worn in, just to make sure you've got that pre-compression on your spring. So, we've got it apart. That's really all the other components. Like, look, I'll pop out the stem, but you shouldn't really need to touch the stem unless you're relubricating it. So, this is your stem assembly. You have your O-ring here, your diaphragm here. You should pretty much never ever need to replace that diaphragm. It's very hard wearing. It's NBR 90, so it's really durable. It's a nice, strong, very good seal. It's got walls thicker than most QEV diaphragms of the same pressure rating, so you should never need to touch it. The stem O-ring, you will want to relubricate that every once in a while, just because lube distributes throughout the core and you want to make sure that it's all good. So let's take a little bit of lube. Mine's still lubricated, but I'm doing it for the sake of the argument. Apply and give it a spin, and then if you want to circulate it throughout your bolt, just put your bolt in and give it a twist as you go, so you're distributing some of that lubricant throughout your bolt. That's all you got to do there. Your bolt O-ring. So let's have a quick look at the bolt O-ring. It's a BS015. Very easy to come off. It's very free floating, you'll notice. That is by design. Do not worry. You do not need to Teflon tape under that. Do not. You will ruin the cycle speed by doing so. It is meant to flow freely. It is floating by design, as is this on the stem. You'll see it's actually held up by the static friction of the lubricant there, but it is still very free floating, and it's not meant to touch. Well, it's not meant to have full contact on the OD of the groove. So don't worry. Again, that's by design. Let it float. So there's your two main O-rings in here. Now, if you're having any cycle issues, which might happen, it would be probably because your wearing is out of alignment. So if you've pushed in your wearing properly, you will actually see that it's pushed in there, but you'll also see if it's not pushed in there, it might be misaligned. So you want to grab something like, well, I've got this on hand, it's 1/2 inch ID, but it's like 5/8 OD. You want plastic. You don't want any aluminium rod or anything. You want something that's not going to mark the inside of your bore here. This bore is a very nice finish. You want to make sure that it continues having a nice finish for your O-ring. So you want like something plastic, a plastic dowel, plastic rod, 1/2 inch CPVC for you Americans. It will pop in like that, and you can actually use that to locate your wear ring. So make sure that you can actually see the wear ring. Let's see if I can focus on that for a second. I tried to get a good light source specifically so that this, yep, you can see there, you can see the black plastic on the inside. Oh, come on. You can see the black plastic on the inside of the on the inside of the inner shroud. That's your wearing. You want to make sure that that's located there. That's very important. If you don't take off this O-ring before you try to remove everything, then this O-ring on your bolt will actually catch on your wearing, and you don't want that because then it's probably going to pull the wearing out when you pull the bolt out. Or worse, it will shave little bits off of your O-ring. So just keeping that in mind when you're taking it apart. So the last thing you want to check is just check for any damage on the inner shroud O-ring. So I'm just going to re-lubricate that so it's got a nice seal when I put it back in. Same as before, just apply lube and spin. And then you're pretty much good to go. It's a very simple construction, so it should be very quick to service, but you want to make sure you've got it all. So spring, back in, like so. Bolt back in. Now, because this is so free-floating, make sure that this O-ring isn't going to snag on your way back in. You will feel it snag, so don't worry. If it goes in easily, it hasn't snagged. But if you feel it snag, and just stop, pull her out, and let it do its thing normally. Then pop in your stem, like so, and it's all ready to go back in. Screw it all up, and then use your circlip pliers to tighten it all back up. Yep. Like so, nice and easy. And then you've got everything there. You should be able to actually hear your seals engaging and disengaging with each other. And then just pop your bolt O-ring back on. Maybe if you're going to do your stem to, if you're going to do your bolt to receiver seal, do that last with your Teflon tape, just to make sure that it doesn't come off when you're taking it off and on. And make sure you trim the excess, just so it's, nice and clean. Nice and easy, like. That's all there is to it. So, if there's anything else any other issues you might have, feel free to sound off and feel free to message me on any of my social media, and I'll do what I can to help you through any other problems you might have. Again, if you're new to this, get a 210mm Worker Seagull barrel to go with this, and you should be good to go. Anyways, catch you later.